And welcome, Fariba here from Watch Knitting. Today I'm sharing a tutorial for this unique pattern called the Baklava stitch. The flat version of this stitch is also available on my channel. I'll include the link down below if you would like to check that out. In this video, I will focus on working the baklava stitch in the round, and I'll also give you tips on how I created the hat sample shown here. This is a unique pattern I designed and shared for free. If you are enjoying this kind of creative, high quality knitting content, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe and share the video with your knitting friends. Let's dive in. This sample was worked using 80 grams of worsted weight yarn in the jean color by Lion brand with a 16-inch circular needle in 3.5 millimeter, which I'll be using today. For today's demonstration, I'll also use worsted weight yarn from Loops and Threads. Already worked about 2 inches of brioche rib for the brim. It's reversible, super squishy, stretchy, and gives a really professional finish. I also have a full tutorial on that. I will link it down below as well. I'll use a stitch marker to help you follow along. If you don't have a stitch marker, no worries, you can just use a small loop of scrap yarn. Also, I'll be using a tapestry needle for the bind off at the end. For this pattern, you will need to cast on a multiple of 12 stitches. If you plan to use brioche rib for the brim, I highly recommend watching my brioche rib tutorial first. You will need to adjust your stitch count. Otherwise, you might end up with a brim that is too loose. For this chin collar hat, I based my pattern on 108 stitches, but I initially cast on 72 stitches for the brioche rib. After completing the rib section, I ended up with 108 stitches, which is required for my pattern. In my brioche rib tutorial, I show you how to adjust your stitch count to make it work perfectly. For today's sample, I decided to make a smaller size to fit my 6-year-old. I cast on 56 stitches and worked 2 inches of brioche rib. Ended up around 84 stitches. Now let's start with the pattern. Round 1 and all even numbered rounds are knit rounds. We will alternate between knit rounds and pattern repeat rounds. For the yarn overs from the brioche rib, I knit them through the back loop to reduce the size of the holes. I also try to keep my knit stitches loose since the pattern rounds tend to tighten the fabric. I will fast forward through the knit rounds to save time. At the end of my first round, I count my stitches to make sure they match the pattern multiple. I counted 83 stitches, but I need 84, so I'm adding one stitch to correct it. This usually happens because of the yarn overs in the brioche rib, which can sometimes throw off the stitch count. Next, I place my marker here. This pattern is based on cross stitches. Crosses are done within 2 stitches. It's similar to a cable stitch done between 2 stitches with a few minor tweaks that I made. Round 1 is purely made of cross to rights. Gradually in each pattern round, we will replace one cross to left with one cross to right. For the right crosses, the stitch on the left is brought over the stitch on the right and will be slipped. and the first one which ends up behind will be knitted. I will work across to right over the next two stitches. I will transfer both stitches to the right needle. Then from the back, insert the tip of the left needle into the second stitch or the original right stitch. Pull the right needle out, letting the first stitch drop, and use the right needle tip to pick up the dropped stitch. Now the stitches are crossed. The stitch on top is slipped and the one in the back is knitted. So I leave that one on needle and knit the next one. Now repeat again. Transfer both stitches to the right needle. From the back, insert the tip of the left needle into the second stitch. Pull the right needle out, drop the first stitch, then pick it up, leave on the needle and knit the second stitch. Transfer both stitches to the right needle, then grab the first stitch from the back, drop the other one, and pick it up and knit the second one. I like to use my fingertips to lift and hold the stitches. That helps me work faster. Feel free to rewind or pause the video to practice this motion on your own. I will fast forward through the rest of the round and meet you at the end of this round. Now I'm at the end of round two. I will do my last right cross. And that's done. Next, when the stitches are paired like this, next is the knit round. We will knit one round over these paired stitches before starting the next repeat. It's very important to keep your tension loose here. Tight stitches can make this technique really frustrating to work. I'm at the end of round three. I will knit the last two stitches and move the stitch marker. You can pause the video and work on your own and come back here. Now, from now on, we will begin shifting the crosses to the right, one stitch at a time. That means the two stitches that were crossed earlier will now be crossed one position to the right. And this stitch at the beginning, you will notice it's unpaired. Just slip that one for now. We will use it at the end of the round to make the left cross. In this round, we will gradually introduce left crosses by replacing one right cross with a left cross in every repeat. 5 right crosses followed by one left cross. So after slipping the first stitch, I will do 5 right crosses. One, two, Three, 4, and 5. Okay, I have one stitch that was slipped at the beginning, then 5 right crosses, and now I will work a left cross. With the yarn at the back, the same, transfer both stitches to the right needle like we did before. This time, pick up the right stitch from the front, drop the second stitch, then pick it up again from the behind. That creates a left cross. Now return the stitch back to the left needle because we need to knit it. That's behind, and this one on top needs to be slipped. Now continue with another 5 right crosses, and then I will show you left cross again. Right and left crosses are worked the same way. You slip both the stitches to right needle, but for right cross you pick up the stitch from behind the right stitch, and for the left cross you pick up the same stitch from the front. So the only position that changes is the position that you pick up the stitch. And in both, the top stitch is always slipped, and the other one, which stays in the back, is knitted. So I did another 5 cross to right. Now I'm gonna do another cross to left. Again, transfer 2 stitches to the right needle, pick up the stitch, right stitch from the front, drop the other stitch and pick it up again. Now return it back. So this stitch needs to be knitted because it stays at the back, and the other one stays on top to lean to the left, and we slip that one. So another cross to right, another 5 cross to rights. I will fast forward through the rest and return to show you how the last lift cross at the end of the round will be worked. Now I'm at the end of the round. I have done 1 lift, then 5 right crosses. I have one last stitch and one that we slipped at the beginning. Now I will remove the stitch marker and cross these 2 stitches to the left. So this part is the last stitch of the last repeat. Now we need to place the stitch marker after this one, and we're gonna work the knit round here. Now I'm gonna work my knit round. Working in the round is easier than flat version because the stitches connect smoothly. Now round 6, again we slip the first unpaired stitch and keep it for the end. Now we will work 4 right crosses followed by 2 left crosses. So I'm gonna work 4 right crosses and then continue my older left cross and create new cross to left over these 2 stitches. We are adding another left cross to the pattern. The diagonal lines will begin to show, and that makes it easier to follow the pattern. We are increasing the number of left crosses while reducing the right crosses one by one. Okay, now I worked 4 right crosses after slipping the first stitch, and now I will make new cross two left over these 2 stitches, and continue my older cross two left. That's kind of cutting this line here. So again, one slip and then 4 cross right and 2 cross to left. We're gonna keep doing the same thing, 4 cross to right and 2 cross to left. Now I'm at the end of round 6. I will remove my stitch marker and pair the first and last stitch together and will make a cross to left. Now I will put the marker back and work on my knit round. Okay, here now I'm at round 8. I will slip the first stitch as before. This time we will make 3 cross to right and then 3 cross to left. So I finish my third cross to right. Now I will make new cross to left over these 2 stitches and continue the other 2 cross to left. So here this round will be full of 3 crosses to the right and 3 crosses to the left. We will keep doing the same thing over and over until we reach the point that we have all the crosses leaning to the left. And then that will be our offsetting point where we switch everything back to crosses leaning to the right. If you want, you can skip ahead to that part. Again, here at the end of round 8, I will remove my stitch marker and will work another cross to left. And now my knit round. Okay, here I'm at round 10, and this time we're gonna make two crosses to the right and four crosses to the left. The first stitch will be picked up without knitting, saved for later, two crosses to the right, then four crosses to the left. I have other patterns made with these cross stitches, and they are very textured, very beautiful patterns. If you like working with crosses, you can check those out. I have plenty of them. I'm gonna put the link down below. And I try still to create new designs with this stitch. Here again, at the end, I will make my last cross to the left and then will work my knit round. Round 12, I pick up the first stitch as always. This time we're gonna have one cross to the right and then five crosses to the left. That means that next round will be all crosses to the left. This pattern is very straightforward. You might have some questions at the beginning when we start, and also when we are doing the offsetting. Other than that, it's straightforward. Again, here, end of round 12, and I'm working my last cross to left after removing my marker, and I will work my knit round, and I will be back with round 14 before starting the offsetting rounds. Okay, here we are at round 14. This round, we are gonna slip the first stitch, and then everything will be crossed to the left. And again, here we remove the stitch marker at the end and make the last cross to the left at the end. So as you may notice, removing the stitch marker makes our stitches shift one stitch at a time. And then our first round when we started will be a little bit different when we repeat the pattern, which I'm gonna show later. So here is end of round 14. I do my last cross to the left, and I will work on a knit round, and I will be back with the uh, next round, which start of the offsetting rounds. Okay, now we are midway through the pattern. We need to offset the previous rounds. Now everything is crossed to the left, and I worked one knit round. Now we're gonna reintroduce a new cross to the right, and that will be right before this line that is crossed to the left. So we're gonna keep this line here. Then the cross to the right will be just before that over these two stitches to extend that line there. And before that, we're gonna have four crosses to the left and also one slipped stitch that will be worked at the end to make the cross to the left. And initially it means that we are having five crosses to the left, but at the beginning the first stitch is single and unpaired, and we slip it and work it at the end. And that will be a cross to the left. So I will work four cross to the left after slipping one, and now I'm gonna work cross to right over these two stitches. Again, we have one slip stitch, and that will be worked at the end with the last stitch to make a cross to left, and that means we're gonna have five. But for now, we worked only four, and now I will do cross to right. Again, slip one, four cross to left, then one cross to right, and now we're gonna continue with five cross to left, and the repeat for this row will be one cross to right, five cross to left. Again, here it may be a little confusing, but pay attention that the first stitch here that we slipped will be part of the first repeat and will be cross to left. I'm gonna explain it again. Four cross to right, one cross to left, but now five cross to left and then one cross to right. Now here at the end, I remove the stitch marker and make last cross to left. In the first section before offsetting rounds, the initial slipped stitch is part of the last 12 stitch repeat, but in the offsetting rounds, the slip stitch belongs to the first repeat, though it is worked at the end. Now I will work my knit round and will be back with row 18. Okay, here now I'm at row 18. Here at the first we had these two stitches that we made the cross to the left, sorry, to cross to the right previously. Now we're gonna work another cross to right over these two stitches. Again, I'm gonna slip the first stitch, keep it for later, make three cross to left, and here now I will make my previously created cross to right, and then make a new cross to the right over these two stitches. And again I will have four cross to the left, so for this row we're gonna repeat four cross to the left and two cross to the right till the end of the round. Okay, here at the end we will do the cross to the left, which is part of the first repeat, but we are doing at the end. Now I will work on my knit round. Here we are at round 20. Again, slip one stitch, then I will have two crosses to the left for now. And three crosses to the right. I have two from the previous rows and now another new cross to right. And again, I will continue with three cross to left and three cross to right. The lines are very obvious now and it helps a lot. So here I did my left cross at the end of the round and will work my knit round again. Now at round 22, I will pick up the first stitch. I will have only one cross to the left at the beginning. Then I will continue my crosses to the right, which are four of them. Slip one cross to left, four cross to right. Now we're gonna work two cross to left. So the repeat for this row will be two cross to left, four cross to right. Okay, at the end of round 22, I will make my cross to left, which belongs to the first repeat. And then I will place a stitch marker after that and will work my knit round. Perfect. Now we are at round 24. Basically, this is the last round of the repeat. We will slip the first stitch and then we'll make five crosses to the right. Later, the slipped stitch will be crossed to the left. So the repeat for this round will be five cross to the right and one cross to the left. And after that, you're gonna repeat over from round one. However, I'm gonna go ahead and show it one more time because it may be a little different than what we did in round one because of the stitch marker, which I will show it shortly. Now I'm at the end of round 24. I will remove my stitch marker and will make my last cross to the left. And we'll work one knit round before repeating round two. Okay, here I'm again at the beginning with round two or repeat of round two. This time, because of the stitch marker, we need to slip the first stitch and then we do our crosses. That slipped stitch will be paired with the last stitch and will be crossed to the right this time. This is the only difference you're gonna see, and that happens because of the stitch marker. Basically, you're gonna end up with everything doing cross to the right, like round one we did. You just need to do the first stitch and last stitch together because of the stitch marker. Now here I worked another round of the knit round, and now I will repeat round three. The reason that I'm showing just I want to show where you're gonna start your new cross to the left. So we're gonna slip the first stitch, then work five cross to the right, and then one cross to the left. So this line continues here to make a cross to the left over these two stitches. And before that, we're gonna have five cross to right and one stitch will be slipped and worked at the end here. So this is the only difference you're gonna see. And I'm gonna go ahead and work another repeat of the pattern to get enough length to bind off the hat. Okay, I worked another repeat of the pattern and my measurement is about 20 centimeter, enough to bind off the hat. What I will do, I'm right now at the knit round, so I have my stitches being paired. So what I will do is knit them together through the back loop instead of knitting. This round and next round will be knitting two together. For this round, I will knit through the back loops and then I will drop my stitches to half. Next round, I will work another knit two together round and that will also drop my stitches to half. Okay, now I'm gonna knit two together for another round to drop my stitches again to half, and I will be doing knit two together. You can do a slip knit, whatever works for you. What we are going to do is make the very simple method for casting off the hat. It's a little tighter at the end. Okay, now I will get my tapestry needle and cut my yarn. Leave it about 30-40 centimeter would be enough. I will pass the yarn through the tapestry needle and then I will pass through the stitches one by one, making sure I get everything. As I said, this is the simplest version that you can make your hat, and usually I try to make things simple. Now I'm gonna remove my needle and pull through the yarn. And then I will make a couple of stitches from the uh, holes to work back and forth to cover them. I'm planning to add a pom-pom to decorate it. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial and find it helpful. I appreciate your time and appreciate your comments. I try my best to make easy tutorials and very understandable ones. Hope you enjoy it and thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more from my channel.